Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from relationship advice. Our first post is by Throwaway. My 27M girlfriend, 22F, is upset I haven't proposed on our trip. How do I fix this? My 27M girlfriend, 22F, and I celebrated our 2-year anniversary in early February. We took a trip to Disneyland in California and had a nice week-long beach getaway. Great views, water activities, and romantic dinners. On the last day of our trip, we had a nice romantic dinner at a restaurant on the beach about an hour or so away from where we were staying. I guess during that dinner, she was awaiting a proposal, which I didn't have for her. We moved in with each other a year ago, and despite my worries of it being too soon, we get along great. We are both clean, respectful, and overall best friends. Money has just been tight. We live in a one-bedroom, and don't have lots of money to go out all the time. I changed my timeline for her. But I guess I never had a timeline as I'd been single for so long before her. I never thought I'd want kids and stuff, but now that all changed as I grow more in love with her. But I don't want kids right now. I guess I've given her mixed messages, as she puts it, since I've hinted at those things. Like asking what shape ring she likes, sending baby reels, and we both get drunk and talk about babies. But I've explained to her that we can't right now. I think she wants children soon though. After we got back from the trip, she asked me why I didn't propose. She was under the impression I would, even though I never mentioned that. She told me that she's shocked I didn't and thought we were on the same page, which we are. I 100% want to marry her, but it will be a surprise and I need money for the ring. She started talking about her timeline and I told her to just relax, stop stressing, she's so young. At 22, I didn't want any of that. Our next post is by Angry Junebug. Parents M50, F50. Want to be in our lives after kicking me, F24, out at 17 for refusing to get an abortion. Should I agree? Basically the title. I got pregnant at 17, my boyfriend dumped me, I told my parents and they told me that I needed to get an abortion. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So when I refused, I came home from school like a week after that discussion and the locks had been changed and there was a suitcase full of my things at the front door. I knocked on the door, both of my parents were home, but they just stood at the window and said, "You're on your own now." To make a super long story as short as possible, I went to the library and started researching. I found a low cost of living state and began searching for apartments and a job. I stayed with my friend Lila, 18F, for about a month while I planned everything out. Dropped out of school, got a job lined up, and thanked my lucky stars that I had opened a credit card when I was 16 to start building credit. My mom was my co-signer. I don't know if she just forgot about this or let me keep it after she dropped me. Lila's dad was nice enough to buy me a beater car. I drove to my new state and began working. I got my GED pretty quickly since I only had a little bit left to go. By this I mean that I already knew much of the content in the GED exam, so I didn't have much to study. I lived in my car for nearly 7 months trying to save up and waiting to turn 18, took showers at a gym. Life was hard, but at least I didn't need to sleep with the car on because it was warm where I moved. The job that I got was street maintenance, so I was working with hot asphalt and tar all day in the hot sun. It was awful. By the time my daughter was born, I qualified for a low-cost apartment through a state program that supplemented me, and I at least had somewhere to bring my baby home to. By some miracle, I saw a job posting working as a street maintenance tech for the city, so it would be a government job. I applied, and by some other miracle I got it. Suddenly I had paid time off, medical coverage, retirement, everything. They even had a program for parents through the health insurance that would cover a huge portion of childcare. It took way more out of my deductions on my paycheck, but so much cheaper than paying out of pocket. I climbed the ladder at my city. It helps that so many boomers are retiring. I am now a technical specialist, but I'm gunning for crew lead for streets maintenance department. The city paid for me to get my Class A CDL. So even if I somehow didn't make it here, I could get basically any labor job out there. CDLs are a golden ticket. The city has paid for every certification that I have. It truly was a miracle from God that I saw the entry-level position opening all those years ago. I make good money. I am secure. I am so tired, but I am so fulfilled. It's been 7 years since I was kicked out of my parents' home, and I haven't spoken to them since then. I had changed my number and deactivated all forms of social media. My daughter is so smart, flourishing, and such a cool person to hang out with. Being her mom is the best thing in the world, and she is somehow wise beyond her years and yet so innocent and playful. I was blessed with her, truly. I met an amazing man, Derek, 28M, that also works for the city, but a different department. We've been together for 4 years and he recently proposed. Now to my problems. Recently, Lila came to visit me and to meet my fiancé face to face. We are in a townhouse now close to the beach, and she wanted a beach getaway vacation for her blog. We had so much fun. She took lots of pictures and videos of us all. We showed her around the city, and I pointed out projects that I had completed. Yes, I'm that person. It was so much fun catching up with her after like 5 years of not seeing each other in person. I had no idea that she would post photos and videos of my daughter, fiancé, and I though. I thought the photos and videos of us were for her, while the photos and videos of the stuff we did was for her blog. She texted me a week after she went home that my parents saw her blog, after she shared it on her Facebook and saw the photos and videos of us all, and now they want to get back in contact. She said that my parents told her that they were really mad at me back then, but that they never expected that I would vanish, and they are pissed that I moved so far away from them. I guess they assumed I was somewhere nearby. I don't know how to respond to this. I am so upset with Lila for posting pictures and videos of me and my daughter to the internet without my permission, especially knowing that I don't have any social media. The violation is a lot for me, but I also owe her and her parents my and my daughter's life, so I don't know what to do about that. I also don't know what to do about my parents. They want to talk to me. I don't think that I really want to talk to them. On one hand, I want to rub it in their faces that I succeeded despite them. I've always been worried that the reason she is like a little adult is because she is always around adults. She has friends at school, obviously, but her younger years it really was just the two of us. I don't know if isolating her from her family is the right thing to do. I know that I should love her more than I hate my parents, but opening that door builds such a rage inside of me that I don't know what to do with. I don't know, Reddit, what should I do? Our next post is by FF Frank. I, 35F, agreed to go on a friend's 50F birthday trip. As it approaches, the costs have become absolutely absurd and I'm not sure what to do. Friend has planned a birthday trip for a total of 10 of us. I know 4 to 5 of the group. She's a good friend but quite a bit wealthier than the rest of the group. She wanted us all to book first-class flights to the destination. I declined and booked my own seat at a more convenient time. She booked an Airbnb and is stocking it with snacks and groceries. It's quite an expensive place, $800 per person for 3 nights, but it's what she wants, so I didn't object. And I knew that cost before I agreed to attend. Now, almost every day I receive a new group message about a different event, and they seem insanely expensive. Wine tasting, $140 per person, dinner reservation, $160 for apps and cocktails, table with bottle service, $200 per person, and now some kind of art class that is $90 per person. It would be awful to the group if I dropped off the trip altogether, but I'm not sure how to deal with these expenses. I can afford them, but I'm frugal. I would never spend that much on a single night out, let alone several of these events in a single day. And I know there will be other food and drink required during the trip. How do I politely opt out of some of these plans without being rude or confrontational? Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.